You're good.
Got it? Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited. Hi, everybody. I see people are in the chat. I see Cheryl and Tawny. Hey, guys. I'm so glad that I get to be on today. Thank you so much, Katie, for having me. And like she said, my name is Lauren, and I'm an ambassador in St. Louis, Missouri. We met. It was just like you bid. No, you didn't bid. You put your ticket in the raffle
Yep.
at the last big event in Nebraska, which was so amazing. Mark was there, and it was such a great event, wasn't it?
It was so fun.
Oh, so I traveled. I actually didn't have any team there, but I was just so excited and needed an event. I've been in this business now for almost 5 years, which is crazy. I was an elementary school teacher when I got started. I was teaching second grade at the time. I was pregnant with that's not even true. I was teaching fifth grade. Sorry. I was pregnant with my second son, and thinking about daycare for two kids was really scary. I was a teacher. My husband was a graphic designer. And I was like, we could use some extra income because, to be honest, it wasn't that we were struggling at the time. I just knew that daycare was going to cost as much as my mortgage. And I anticipated what was going to come with having more kids, diapers and daycare, and kids are expensive. And if anybody's ever, had to pay for daycare, you know what I'm talking about. And so with a teacher's salary, I just realized we need a little bit extra. So I saw my enroller posting on Facebook, and I had met her. We met through it was like a wedding planning website, and she's also an ambassador in St. Louis, which is crazy. She was not an ambassador at the time, but I saw her quit her job. I saw her making all this money. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So I gave it a try, and I realized, okay, I got to $500 a month, which was my goal. And I was like, okay, if I just keep doing this, I can make $1,000. So then I got to $1,000 a month, and I was like, I wonder if I could make $5,000 a month. And I mean, I honestly just did exactly what she said. I became such a student because I was a teacher, right? So I understood as a teacher, like, I have to keep learning. I have to be a sponge. I have to do all the things that they tell me to do. I have to be all the places they tell me to be. I'm just going to do everything she told me to do. And I honestly just kept growing through the ranks of this business and became an ambassador a couple of years ago, which is nuts, and quit my teaching job. And now I do this full time. I've had another baby since then. So now I have 3 boys. It's crazy. My life is crazy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so thankful for this business. I absolutely love it. I never thought I would do something like it, but now at this point, I can't imagine doing anything else. So that's my story in a nutshell. I mean, I could go on and on because this business has just been a roller coaster for me, and for everybody who's in it, guys. If you haven't experienced ups and downs, you're going to. Some days are super easy. Some days super suck. Some months are better than others, but that's just the nature of this business, but it's the nature of life. Sometimes things go really well. Sometimes they don't. You have ups and downs, and it's just your commitment and your consistency that's going to be the game changer in all this.
Yeah, totally. I love that. And that's so true. So, kind of piggybacking off of that, because this is actually a question that I have. So you said that, life is busy, you have 3 kids. And so how do you go through the busy? How do you work through the busy? Because, obviously everyone has stuff going on, whether it's, school or another job or whatever. How do you work this business into it?
So I've been through a lot of different phases of life in the past 5 years. So when I started, I was working, and working while doing this business is hard. Staying home while doing this business is hard. My husband had 2 jobs. That was hard. Now he's home. That's still hard. It's, having kids, I've been pregnant in this business. I've had newborns during this business. I've gone through it all. And what I've learned is that you have to be consistent, but you have to be flexible and give yourself grace and know that that's going to change. So are there days where I don't work my business? Yeah. I mean, when I first started, I was working. Okay. So the only time that I could work this business was in the car. In the morning, I would post before I went to work, super early in the morning. It was 7. Before I walked in the building, I would listen to professional development or even business development recordings of calls. I honestly don't read a lot, and I shared that at the training. If I have time, guys, I'm not going to spend it reading a book. That's just me. I know some people love to read. I love to listen and absorb. So it was like before Bluetooth in my car. I didn't have like a fancy car. So I would just put my phone on speaker in my lap and just listen to ambassadors that I thought were amazing, leaders that I thought were amazing, trainings that I had missed the night before because I fell asleep on the couch or whatever. I just made sure that I was always listening to something in my car. So I would check in on my team page at lunch, and I would check in on like my posts if anybody commented. I would work there, and that was only 20 minutes that I would have to do that. And then I couldn't be on Facebook at all or social media when I was teaching, right? No internet at school. That would be really bad if I was on my phone in front of my students. So then nighttime was my jam. I would get into my car. I would check in on Facebook just real quick. I would listen to a training when I picked up my kids. Of course, then I had to be a mom, right? So I didn't have time to do it then. But as soon as those babies went to bed, I mean, my husband understood this was my goal. It was like we sat down and watched a show, but I was like, I'm not just gonna sit and watch like your dumb show. Like I'm gonna multitask, right? He needed that like time with me, so we sat on the couch. But he knew that I was watching and working. Like I had to follow up. I had to do my messaging at night. I had to hustle because I had big dreams and big goals, and I just had to get him on, in line with that. So that time of my life was crazy how I worked it. Now is literally because I've got a baby, like I'm just working it when I can. But I mean, I work it a lot. Like that little pop-up thing comes on your phone that tells you how many hours you're on your phone a day. I mean, it's not like I say I'm doing it here and there, but it pops up to like 6 hours a day, right? But it's put in and out. Like I can do it while he fell asleep in my arms tonight. He's sick. I just, instead of putting my other boys to bed, I just sat there for an hour and followed up with people on Instagram instead of, while my husband was putting the other two boys to bed. So I just try to weave it in that, yeah, I was on my phone for an hour while a baby was sleeping in my arms, but I got it done. I got my messages done. So you don't have to work 6 hours a day. But
right. And it doesn't have to be like straight, and it could be like 15 minutes.
It's totally not straight. Yeah. It's never straight.
Exactly.
Power hours, I'm going to be honest, I don't really work an hour straight most days. It's just like in and out when I can.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What do you do, like, so say you have a day where you haven't done anything, or you didn't do anything the day before. How do you, like, if you don't feel like working, how do you make yourself work? Because if you, yeah. It
is so easy. That's the problem with taking a break. And I always tell people, like, you can take a break because this is life and you don't have to work every day. But the thing is with this business, consistency is what fuels you and makes you feel good because you get action when you are consistent. And if you're not working a few days in a row and you string that into like a week, which turns into 2 weeks, all of a sudden, I mean, I've been in that position, guys. When I was pregnant with my third, I was like, I don't know what happened to me, but I just didn't want to, and I didn't. And I had my checks went down, my rank went down, everything went down because I wasn't consistent. I had to force myself, literally. And if that means you have to make have a power hour or have your 6 list, I always recommend, like, I have Post-it notes all over my house. If I like to check things off a physical list. Like I have to write down a few things, which means follow up with 15 people. And I have to check it off, or tally 15 times before I can move on. Otherwise, I'm scatterbrained. Does that happen to anybody else where you're just like, I don't even know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything? But that's the biggest way that you're going to ruin your own excitement and your own passion in your own business is just by letting those days string together over and over again. You have to make yourself do something. A lot of people are more organized than me and have like cute apps and cute planners and all this fun stuff. I have Post-it notes, and those are life for me too.
Yeah. I have no organization. It's kind of just a little bit of everything. So
it's a hot mess, but you know what? Like, I really just think that you guys, you have to really you do have to on the days that you just don't feel like it, because there are days that you're tired and there are days that you're sick and there's days that you just don't feel it. Like, I don't know what to post. There's days as an Ambassador Diamond, I'm like, I honestly don't even know what I can say. Yep. Go to some leaders that inspire you, go to their page and let their posts inspire you. I'll scroll through anybody in the top 20. and I'll find posts that they made and I'll make them my own. I'll let them inspire. I'll go on Pinterest and I'll look up inspirational posts or inspirational quotes. And I'll see one that really just like, I'm feeling that right now. And then write a post based off of that. People really appreciate honesty and people love inspirational quotes. And if you can tie that into your life and your business anyway, that gives me inspiration. But just don't let multiple days go by where you're just doing nothing for your business. You gotta do something.
Right. So do you have like a daily 6 list or non-negotiables that you do every single day? And if so, what does that look like?
Yes. So some people are like, Facebook more, some people are more on Instagram, some people are like belly to belly parties, vendor events, whatever. I realized when I started to get in my slump that I needed to reinvent myself, if you will. So Facebook is what totally got me to about presidential diamond. People I knew, warm market, posting on Facebook, acquaintances and stuff like that. I then realized if I want to get to ambassador, I got to do something new. And I started with Instagram. So non-negotiables for me every day are posting on Instagram at least 3 to 5 times a day, and to do a poll always about skinny coffee, keto coffee. I will post that every single day. Usually every other day I'll post about the opportunity, but those are non-negotiables. You have to be doing posts and then polls. Now, if you go to if you look at my wall, it's Lauren Laugh Love Live, and you are welcome to follow that account if you like, or get ideas and inspiration, because that's what I do. I go to other leaders and I get inspiration too. You're not posting all about it works. You're posting 3 times a day, but it's not actually like about it works, right? If you looked at my wall, you might not even know that I do it works. But the polls are where you're putting all of it out there. You have to be doing polls and stories. Okay. And then that's where my 6 list is. It's doing the polls, doing my post, then following up with my polls from the day before. You have to be sending messages, non-negotiable. And then following up with people that have just gone silent. There's those people that you have to follow up with. And really, that's not even a 6 list. That's like a 4 list, but I have to do those 4 things every single day.
Yep. Okay. So are you mostly Instagram now, or do you still work both?
Yeah. I mean, I do I post on Facebook because I'm trying to be a good example to my team, because, you need to post. And there are definitely people. I will randomly get a customer from Instagram. On Facebook. I do host a post on Facebook because it's just popping for everybody. So I'm like, I'm going to make it work for me too. So I'm definitely doing Facebook. I just sign, I'd say 99% of people from Instagram. I don't know why. I just love it. I feel really creative on Instagram. I post a lot more on Instagram. I don't know why. I don't just post what I post on Instagram, on Facebook. It's really stupid. But I just feel like Instagram's like strangers. I know, isn't it weird for me to say like I'm worried about people judging me still? Because I really don't care. But for some reason on Instagram, like I really don't care. Like somebody wants to block me, I'm like, I don't care. I don't know you. Bye, girl. And if I send someone a message and she doesn't respond to me, I don't care. But for some reason I care a little bit more on Facebook. That's just me. I don't know why.
I'm the exact same. And I feel like people are so much nicer on Instagram. I don't know. But I
mean, I've honestly never had anybody say anything mean to me ever really in my business. I mean, I've never really had haters because I ignore people like that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you don't see the haters, then they're just not there. You know what I mean? So I just don't really acknowledge anybody who might not like my business or might not like me. I'm just like, whatever. So I don't see them. I don't pay attention to them. I just feel completely confident to be just kind of silly and kind of just ridiculous on Instagram. I don't know why. But like Facebook, I know some people go Facebook Live and that's like really good to do. That like makes me want to start sweating. Like right now talking about that makes me scared. But that's what I love about this business is that you can be successful so many different ways. And I went back and looked at my numbers this year. I signed over like 250 loyal customers this year. Guys, they're all from Instagram. Last year I was doing Instagram, but I signed like 100, which is still for me. I'm not a mass enroller. The difference between this year and last year was that Instagram came out with stories and polls. That's the only difference. And I utilized them. So that for me is just where I see the best action. So I just keep doing it. And I'm not going to stop until it stops working.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where I get all my business too. So, okay, so let's see. Um, how do you create, so like obviously as an ambassador diamond, you sign, you have like a good team. How do you create like duplication and like leaders, like create leaders, and all of that?
That's like the magical question, right? I feel like there are times where I'm like, I sign people, I'm like, these people are awesome. I'm an awesome leader. Everyone's awesome. Look at everybody getting their customers and working. And there's times where I'm like, hello, is there anybody out there? Like, seriously, nobody's talking to me. They sign up and they just completely ghost me. They don't talk to me. They've been blocked. Like, it's so weird. What I have found for me, like, I approach this business as a teacher. And my job is to teach you and give you all of the tools that you could use to be successful. But at the end of the day, your success is on you. And I tell my new distributors that. I'm going to let you into my team page. I'm going to give you access to my trainings. I'm going to help you out with any question you have. But at the end of the day, that's on you. Because I started to feel guilt when people would come in and do nothing. I would get angry, I would get bitter, and I would feel like I suck. What's wrong with me as a leader? And as soon as I took that pressure off myself, people started doing better, right? They can feel your vibes of letting them know that they're responsible for their success. But the duplication and the layered leadership, I have some amazing leaders on my team. But just also know, I have signed a lot of people, and it is a numbers game. And I know you've heard that a million times. I sign a lot of people, and a lot of people do nothing. I think a couple of years ago, we had this weird, like, what was it, $9.99 to sign up. I don't know if any of you guys are in that. That was like my nightmare because I signed like 50 people. And guess what? Out of those 50 people, 0 of them were in the business 4 months later. Like, they didn't do anything. It was too many. It was too many for me. I wasn't giving enough attention and training. I found that if I have a smaller group of people that I can give more one-on-one attention to, they're going to stick around longer. They're going to catch the vision. They're going to work because I'm able to work with them. So I don't want you ever to really get down that you're not a top and roller, because I got to the top of this business without being a top and roller. I created community. I do, team. Every single Sunday, I would do a team call, and I started that when I was like a diamond. And I was like, we're just going to do it every Sunday. We're going to come together. We're going to swap tips, and we're going to be a family here. We did happy hours. If people were across the country, we did them virtually, right? Like, anything that we could do just to create a community. And so at the end of the day, people want to work. They want to, and I don't say they want to please you, but they want to work with you. Instead of then you're having more fun and they're having more fun. But yeah, duplication is a hard one, because I want you to know that there's plenty of people that just do nothing. And that's kind of the nature of how this goes. Some will, some won't. Some are waiting to sign up, and some are going to just run with you. And those are the people that are going to take you to ambassador, right? And then it completely changes. Then you get to ambassador, and then some of them decide it's not for them, or people quit, and that happens too. The goal is to keep finding new people that want this, because they are out there every day. I'm finding new people that are interested in this business, because life happens. They have a kid, they lost a job, they need confidence, they need friends. They're looking for empowerment and worthiness. Who knows what it is? But people are coming around to this kind of industry and this business all the time.
Right. Exactly. I love that. Okay, so so obviously as an ambassador diamond, you've promoted a few times. So what does a promoting month, or like even if you don't promote that month but going for promotion, what does that look like for you?
These are really good questions. Did your team submit these? I'm super impressed.
Some of them are mine, some of them are my team's. So
that was really good. So the crazy thing about being in for 5 years, and like I got to presidential in like 18 months, and then it was a year after that for ambassador. So it was like 2 years. It wasn't that long. It happened all really, really fast for me. And then Mark gives you like a 2.0, right? Guys, my 2.0 didn't promote to anything. I think I had like 100 people in my 2.0 chart, and it wasn't even Ruby. Like, I was on the struggle bus. And so I can understand both sides of it going super fast and it totally not going super fast, and people just not getting it. So just recently, 2 months ago, I promoted that 2.0 to double diamond, and It's crazy because it went emerald, diamond, and double within 4 months of signing one rock star. It just was one girl who signed one girl who all of a sudden things started going. I sat at Ruby for 2 years in that 2.0, and then it went emerald, diamond, double, boom, boom, boom. And I got a bonus and everything. So I hadn't experienced a promoting month in a really long time. And what did that look like? It was freaking exciting because everybody was excited. And to feel that excitement again, I just need you guys all to know it just takes a person. And it might take a long time for you. It took me 2 years. I mean, 2.5 years, honestly, to feel that again. So what do I do in promotion months? A lot of communicating with my team. Like every day, like I'm all up on them. They're up all on me. Like we have to talk all the time of when you sign someone, where does it go? We're all on the same page. We're talking about goals. What posts are working? Have you done this? You know, we are constantly keeping each other accountable. And I think communication is the biggest part. If you're going for Ruby, who's your executive? Does that person know that they're going executive? You know, do they know what they have to do to get executive? Make sure that you've either sent them a video, you've told them, you've explained to them, they need to be commission qualified. They have to know everything. So you're just talking back and forth and counting off. I mean, people have to know what their goal is, but they have to know how to get there. And so I think a lot of times people are missing communication. So it's consistency for everybody. It's communicating for everybody. And I mean, if it's a big promotion like Diamond, you got, I was like, is that my husband or my child? Hopefully it's my husband because someone's in the kitchen. If there's a lack of communication and people don't know the expectations, it's not going to happen. So you have to really be clear in the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, checking in. It can't just be like, let's do this, and we don't talk again to the 25th. Like you got to be all over each other, right? But that's the fun part of it. They're making their goals, you're making your goals, and then you're checking in all along the way. I don't know if I answered that totally. Like if there's specific questions about like, I don't know, anything I'm missing, you just let me know.
No, you're fine. No, that was good. Promoting months are so fun. Like they're so exciting and stressful, but like your heart's pumping like the entire month, and then like as soon as either you hit it or the next month that you're just like done.
Exactly. But that's the hard thing. And I always tell my team that the month after your promotion is actually the month that you got to be hustling harder than the promotion month. And people don't understand that because, and I mean, I've been guilty of that too, where you're like, oh, I did it. I'm going to go take a nap for a couple of days. And it's like, well, like you still have to like re-get your rank every month. Like you can't just do nothing. And I think people don't understand that either. It's like, I can work really, really hard and then I can do nothing. It's like, oh no, honey, it doesn't work like that.
Right. You know, well, you have all this momentum, so use it.
Yes. Yes. The excitement and the momentum, you can either use it for good and just keep going and it gets you going straight to that next promotion, or you take your foot off the gas and all of a sudden you realize you're treading water, right? So you have to go with it, especially guys this time of the year. Oh, I'm like so excited because it starts to feel like, oh, it's winter, it's November, December. But conference is right around the corner. Like are you guys going to conference?
Yes.
Yay! If you come say hi. Let's take a picture. I love conference. I mean, it's the best. If you haven't gone yet, guys, you have to get there. You have to find a way to get there. I was having a baby last year, so I didn't get to go, and like it literally crushed my soul. It was really hard not to be there, and this is the kind of momentum that even last year when I was struggling and my checks were going down, I wasn't enrolling as many people, and yada yada. I had planted so many darn seeds at this time of the year that when the new year came around, they were flourishing. Mm-hmm. So you have to remember, if they're not flourishing and they're not growing right now, you got to plant them and water them and keep doing that in November, December, even when it's frustrating and nobody's writing you back. And I think I signed 0 people last December, 0 people. And when I say December, I mean probably like a couple months before that too. But guys, the seeds were still being planted. I was still posting. I was still doing the polls. I was still talking to people.
I think your kid's awake in the back.
Hey, Mike. I'm doing a Zoom and there's kids like in the background.
Dancing in his underwear was cute.
He goes, yeah, I know. This is my life. It's 9:25 and like why my second grader is still awake. We're just not back on our routine yet.
No, I get it. It's fine.
I like how you could see him and I couldn't see him.
It was cute.
He's in his underwear. I was just like, oh, awesome.
It's
Boy,
awesome.
mom life.
But it's real life. Like you're a real person. Stuff actually happens. Like it's good. It's good to see.
It does. And people actually really like it. So if you go live, and people are always trying to find like the perfect time when you're doing stories and you're like, oh, I messed up. Like I flubbed on my words or that didn't make sense. Just laugh it off and post it anyways. People like real life. People like to know that you're relatable. People like to know that you're not a professional at this. People like to know, oh, if her kids are a hot mess in the background and she can get to the top of the company, well, hell, I can too. You know what I mean? It's like people want to see that. And that's the same way in parties and Facebook Live. I would sit on the floor on launch parties. And so people didn't think they had to stand and do this formal presentation. I would sit on the floor with my products around me, pass them around. I was not perfect. I was not scripted. I still don't have like a perfect story when I tell my story and they say like, oh, you're going to stand on stage and tell your story. I don't have it down perfectly because I'm just me and I'm not perfect, you know, and people can relate to that.
Yeah. I love that so much. It's awesome. Okay, so for this is kind of more of a newbie question. How do you like get started when you don't know like what you're doing?
How do you get started when you don't know what you're doing? Well, you just got to start, right? So I feel like what we did before is a little bit different than what I have people do now. I have tried a million bajillion things to get new distributors started. You know, my enroller was like, we're going to have a launch party. I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to bring products. You're going to have your mom over and your sister over and your neighbor over. And I just listened to her and I watched her. Nowadays, people are like, I don't want to have a party. I want to do things online. Whatever you want to start with, you have to start. I tell my people, like, magic doesn't come in your kit, even though, of course, you are getting like an amazing starter kit, especially the sample one for $20. That's a great kit to try things out, but you just have to get going. So I have people start with their chicken noodle soup list. If they don't want to have people to their house, who would bring you chicken noodle soup? Some people call it a dirt list. Who would buy dirt off of you? But I don't want to call it that because I don't think we're selling dirt, but you know what I mean. So reach out to those people immediately and say, hey, I'm super excited about this new thing I'm doing. I'm looking for some people to test some products out for me to get my 40% discount. I trust your opinion. Can you help me out? Something like that. They're going to send that out to 10 people. They're going to get responses because they're sending it to their best friends and things like that. So we're trying to get their first win as soon as possible. Trying to get a couple loyal customers under their belt. I add them to our team page. I try to do a Zoom or, you know, Skype or FaceTime to kind of get to know them and hear their goals. Sometimes I'll add them to like a group chat or something like this after they get a couple customers. I think we just don't want to overwhelm people that are newbies.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, if you have to do all these things and watch 25 videos and I tag you in all these things and I send you an email with 100 tasks, that people are like, they shut down because they don't know what to do. They're scared. There's too many things. But if you can just give them one or two things, and I usually start with that chicken noodle soup message, they're going to screenshot for me. Oh, someone just upgraded. What? I don't know what just even happened, but someone that says you upgraded. Hey.
Well, yeah, it told me because this is my first like Zoom on the computer, so it told me that I got unlimited minutes. So,
Oh, girl, there you go. I was like, oh, I don't even know what that just meant, but cool. So I think getting the person to do something, because if you don't communicate with them, if you don't talk with them and let them know, I'm going to hold your hand. I'm not going to hold your hand forever, but I'm going to hold your hand when you get started, right?
Mhm.
Screenshot me anything that they send you back. I'm going to help you answer. You copy and paste exactly what I say. I'm going to help seal the deal with them. There's also times, guys, where you sign a distributor and you're like, I don't even know how to help them because I'm new too, or I've never signed a distributor. That's where you use your enroller's help. That's where the layers of leadership come in. That's where your sideline friend or your upline can help you out. If you're on a team page, that's where you work together because you never are alone in this business. Your new distributors need to know that, but also you need to know that. You don't have to train them by yourself. You guys have a team page?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, people that are going to be successful are going to be successful. If you added them to a team page, they're going to soak all that up. They're going to be Googling. They're going to be excited. That being said, there's my enroller had to hold my hand. Like, I don't know if I would have had time, pregnant and nervous, you know, had she not helped me. So we can't assume that someone's just going to do it all by themselves. They just need some help along the way.
Right. Okay, so I just got this question. What do you do when you're blue, and I guess this would go for yellows also, and you get so attached to people and then they quit? It's the reason she's not hosting in-person get-togethers and trainings. She's gotten her heart broken like 8 times. And it's not just the downline, it's just like anyone that you get close to.
I totally understand that. I'm not yellow. I'm like, I totally get it. I'm not yellow or blue, but I do understand because my sister's yellow, and she was a leader in my business, and she's not super active anymore in her business because she really, really struggled with this. And she got scared of sponsoring people because she got scared of the heartbreak that it would bring her, or she felt guilt if they didn't succeed. Like she was bringing somebody into something. And I think it really comes back to letting yourself go of that personal responsibility. Because one, you have to have confidence that this business can change people's lives, and that's up to them. That's not your responsibility. And yes, you are going to form relationships, and yes, it is going to hurt when people quit. It still makes me sad when people I love quit. And at first it made it hard, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so awkward. Like my sister quits, or my best friend quits, or my neighbor up the street. How am I going to like run into her and see her? But when I took away that personal responsibility of, I didn't do anything. I wasn't giving her something that was bad. I wasn't giving her something that was toxic. I wasn't giving her anything that would hurt or harm her in any way. I was giving her something that has been a great gateway for me that has changed my life, that I have loved. And if you look at it as a gift that way and take away any guilt or personal responsibility, that's on them. And if it's not for them, that's okay. You have to know that that's okay. It's okay if it's not for them and if they choose to go somewhere else. And honestly, when I gave myself that, permission, it has been so much easier for me, you guys. Like I don't want to say I don't have a personal attachment to people. That sounds bad. But it is easier for me not to take it personally when someone decides not to do this business, because it's not my fault. It's their choice, and that's that. This business is about bringing in new people along the way. And the second you stop doing that because you're scared, your business isn't going to go anywhere, right? And then you're going to start feeling negative thoughts about your business. You just have to know this is for some people. It's not for some people, but you have to let them decide that. And the only way you're going to do that is by bringing them in, continuing to offer this to people, because it will change people's lives. Maybe it hasn't to the 8 people that have left. Maybe it hasn't to the 8 people it's broken your heart that they have moved on. But that one person is still out there waiting for you. You just haven't found them yet. And that's the person who's going to stick with you and stick in this business for a long time. That's the person that it's going to impact their life for generations. You just haven't met them yet. So that's why you can't quit. That's why you can't stop sponsoring people.
That's perfect.
I'm not even yellow, but I seemed like it right there, didn't I?
It did. It got kind of like, it got deep.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed with myself. I'm pretty red. I'm pretty red, and I'm pretty green. I didn't think I was green until my upline. I don't know if you guys know who Chantel is, but she's one of my upline ambassadors. And she met me and she's like, so I know you say you're red and blue. She's like, I think you're green. I was like, ew, no, I'm not green. And she was like, no, I think you are. And the more that I've, been in this, the longer I've been in this business, I realized there's some green in me. It's just totally weird.
That's funny. I'm a rainbow, so it just depends on the day.
That's a good thing. I think that's good.
It's hard though, because I don't really fit anywhere.
Mm-hmm. You got to take the test though. One of them will come out stronger, right?
Red is my highest by 1 point, and my lowest is 5 points away. So
okay,
it's
you really are
really like a rainbow. So
I find I don't want to say that you can't be successful unless you're red, but I do feel like you have to channel red in moments where you want to move to the next level. So even if you're not red, like even Chantel, she's like the yellowest yellow. She had to become red in those moments where she wanted to grow her business. And she didn't have to become red because you can't change yourself. She just had to channel red behaviors, right? So if a red person was totally like super focused, super organized, super like on it during this 1 month, like it exhausted her, she said. Like she was like, I'm just channeling those behaviors. But you do have to really get some red in you if you want to take it to the next level. You don't have to become red, but you do have to channel. Like, to me, it's like Tiffany Hurt. I don't know if you guys know who she is. You got to channel some of that mojo to get to the next level.
Right. I heard Pam say something once, and she was like, she kind of chooses what she is and where she is. Like, in her business, she's red. In her, like with her family and friends, she's yellow. And, I don't know. She had examples for each, but I can't remember now. But
yeah, she is. I'll say, and that's the truth, because homegirl is blue. If you get her to a party with some drinks, she's the bluest blue person in the room. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Pam Souter. And she says she's yellow, but I don't know. I don't see a lot of yellow. This recording better not go too far. But she says she's yellow with like her grandkids. And
yeah.
She's super red. And I think she's green when it comes to making money.
Money. That's what it was.
Out. So she's green when it comes to her red.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. And yeah.
That's why she's the queen. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. I love her. I can't wait till she knows my name. That's all I want. I could die a happy person then.
And see, it's on my dream board to still, like, my dream board is to go to Pam's house and to go into her pool. Even if it's not a pool party, I'm going to jump in that pool. That is on my dream board. So, like, I think people think, oh, when you're an ambassador, like, you're there, you've made it. Like, no, I have not. I'm getting in that house and I'm getting in that pool.
Yep. I'm the same way. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little bit over time, but I have one more question, just kind of a generic. What is your biggest aha moment in this business, or moments?
Oh, that's real deep.
I know.
I mean, I don't know the biggest one. There's just so many, because I feel like I've grown so much as a person, because I've had to become a lot more sure of myself. I think it's really easy when you do something outside of the box, something different, like network marketing, to let people get you down, to let no's steer you off course, to let somebody who doesn't approve of what you're doing really frustrate you enough that you should start to shut down. But this business made me realize, like, I don't really care. I never knew that I didn't care, because I do. I mean, everybody does care what people think about them. You're a liar if you say you don't care, right? But this business has made me so much more sure of myself and my decisions. I feel so confident. I used to, like, wrap somebody and be like, oh gosh, I really hope this works. Like, now I know this wrap works. Like, I know these products work. I know network marketing, and it works, changes lives. I know and believe in Mark. And I said this in Nebraska, like, I used to question, like, oh, I don't know if I would have made that business decision. It's not my business. This is his business to run, right? So I can either question it, or I can have faith in him and the corporate staff, in the products, in the company. And you have to have that confidence, because if you are questioning it, other people know that. And if you don't really feel that passion, you can't fake it. So I have just really, I think my biggest aha is that I can do it. I can be sure, I can be confident in myself. I can empower myself and change the future for my family, which this completely has, by just being confident. And I really want everybody, if you don't feel that way, because I've had phases where I don't. I mean, I've had a few days ago, I didn't feel confident. I'll be very honest. This hasn't been my best month of my business, but today I signed a distributor and 2 loyal customers, and I haven't signed anybody all week. You can either let that count you out because it was a crappy week and, oh my gosh, I suck. Or I can say, no, Lauren, get on your follow-up game. You've got a few hours left of these sales. These $20 coupon codes aren't just signing up themselves. You got to get to work. And if you put in the time and you put in the effort and you feel that excitement and passion again, people feel it. So just know, and don't ever count yourself out, guys. Having a hard time, having a bad month, having a bad couple of months, or maybe even 6, doesn't mean that you're done. You didn't come this far to come this far. You just keep going. If you have to reinvent yourself, if you have to figure out something new, if you have to find a new product to get all jazzed and excited about, then do it. But you have to find that passion, okay? It's not going to come from anywhere else except for you. You can read a million books, you can watch a million videos, you can get on a million Zooms. But unless you feel it here, nothing's going to change. So that's on you, and every single person can do it, because there's nothing that makes me any different or more special or more worthy than anyone else. Everybody is worthy of achieving their goals. So you just have to keep going.
I love that. I have the chills. That was awesome. Thank you so much for
You guys, thanks for spending time with me tonight. I really appreciated it. I loved it. And I'm so glad that you are the winner of that contest because I feel so lucky that I got to know you. And you guys, send me a friend request.
Yeah.
And meet me at conference. I would love to meet you guys.
Yes,
Thanks
for
so
sure.
much.
I'm so excited for conference. It's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited. I'm so
Exactly
excited.
how I feel.
I love it. And when you guys go to conference, seriously, don't be scared. Like I'm totally a fangirl of so many people. When I see Jade, I like get sweaty armpits. And like when I see like there's just tons of people. I mean, Cammie is one of my close friends. I still get excited to like see her and to like talk to Mark. Like I always sound like a doofus every time I see him because I don't know what to say because I like love you. I just want to be like, I love you. Like I just don't know what to say. I love you. I just love you. I don't know. Thank you. I love you. I usually say something like that. My point is, this is your opportunity to go up and to have that moment and to say hi to somebody and to take a picture with them and just to know that it's okay. No, we're all people here. Go up and talk to somebody and just say, I think that you're really awesome. Let's take a picture. Give me a tip. Anything. I mean, just put yourself out there. Go talk to people. This is such a great, awesome chance to rub shoulders with top leaders of this business. And I do it. Like I still do that exact same thing. You better believe I'm going to go up to like all of the Duns. When I see the Duns at a party, I'm like, oh my gosh, the Duns are here. And I like talk to Denise Walsh. I'll take selfies with them all day. Don't feel scared to ask people. I promise you, everyone's really nice and they will not say no.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's when you take the picture, it's like, oh, okay, it's a person. It's not this like, God that I put them on this pedestal. Like it's a real person.
But then people are like, well, someone asked me like, why do you want to take a picture with them? Because they inspire me, because they have said something or done something that inspired me. And are they famous? No. Are they a celebrity? No. But on a day where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to post about, I can post a picture of me and Stephanie Dunn and say, this is Stephanie. This is her story, blah, blah, blah. And you share other people's stories. It doesn't have to be about you. Not everyone's going to relate to you and your story. Share Stephanie's. Share, Susan Wade's. Whoever you like, whoever you meet, whoever inspires you, you can share their stories too.
Yeah, and I get a ton of potentials that way because I think they get sick of hearing my story every day. But
even if they have results, like I took a picture with Carrie Young in Nebraska. I've never really hung out with her before, but
I love her. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, me too. I watch her videos. I follow her on Instagram, but I don't know her personally. But you better believe when I saw her, I took a picture with her, took a selfie with her, and then when I was posting her before and after results in my stories, I was like, this is my friend Carrie. And I showed a picture of us. And I was like, this was Carrie before, after she had her baby. And then I showed the story. It's just another way that you can relate and share other people's stories. So just go snap a million selfies. Yeah. There's just so many ways to work this business, guys. You just got to kind of look around and see what you can get excited about. And when you think it feels good, then it's going to start working. If it doesn't feel good, because that just means you haven't found the right way to work your business yet. Like if you feel like, I have to do this. Like I love Instagram and I don't feel like I have to do it. I love it. So start to fall in love with one of the ways that you're working this business and then the magic's going to happen.
Right. So I just thought of 2 more questions. So if you have time for us.
Oh, girl, I think my kid's sleeping. I don't know. Who knows what he's doing up there?
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the first one you mentioned, the $20 code, they're not going to sign themselves. Do you have any like last minute tips since we're in the last 4 to 5 days of the month, like using those so that way they're not like going to waste or whatever?
For sure. So, I mean, I don't know for a fact. I have an inkling that they may be pushed over into December. I don't know for a fact, but that would just, I'm just going to say I have a feeling. I don't know for a fact. I'm telling my team though, there is no reason. I'm sharing codes. I haven't used all 20 of my codes. Like I said, I've used like 10 of them. I have given codes to people in my downline. I have given code to sidelines. So I want everybody, if they've got a potential and they're in my downline, I'm going to give them a code, right? I want every single person, and people are sharing them with each other because why not, right? If you're not going to send 20 people is a lot of people. And some people are going with their spouses. They have 40, like, let's be honest. So I really struggled with this promotion because it lasted too long. To me, I like a time restraint. I like saying 5 more days, 4 more days, 72 more hours. So use that urgency in these last 5 days. That's why I signed someone today. I bet you I probably signed another person while I'm on the call because I need that urgency. Before I was like 3.5 more weeks left. That's not getting anybody to really get on signing, right? There's just no reason. You've got 2 months to use these. Come on, everybody. Like, so I would say to use your codes. Last chance, time is ticking, last call, all of those words in big caps letters on the front of all your posts using emojis that's like the little like sirens or, warning signs, the boom, like the explosion. I couldn't think what it's called. Explosion, the boom. Oh, Lord. Yeah, you know what I mean. Using all of that to create that excitement. If you sign anyone on your team, share that. Oh, so-and-so just scooped up one of my coupon codes. Show a picture. Jenny has used one of my coupon codes to sign her, start her own business. And then you post that. You're constantly showing. And guess what? If you didn't sign somebody, you can share somebody else on your team that signed someone. I mean, I tell my team, if I sign someone, you can just say so-and-so joined the team. I don't care, right? They did. You're not lying. Just share that people, are joining, that time is ticking, that now is a great time to, get started, especially with the holidays and New Year's resolutions. Just post it every single day. I will not go a day where I do not do a poll, about the $20 coupons. I'll show the kits. I'll share different stories. You get all this for $20. Now, honestly, a lot of times I don't want people to sign up because they're going to get all those products. So this time I really haven't shown the products a lot because some girl said, she was like, oh, maybe I should join for $20 instead of getting keto coffee and being a customer because I can get all different products. And I was like, no, sorry, that's just for people that actually want to sell. And she was like, oh, okay. And she didn't sign up. And I was like, I don't want you, girl, because I don't want to sign people that don't want to work and they just want to get free products. Like, no, thank you. So I would say urgency, intensity, just keeping that going for these last 5 days and then crossing your fingers that they go into December.
That would be so awesome. I'd freak out.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to use as many as I can, but if it goes into December, I wouldn't be crying, that's awesome.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
You have to follow up and just even say like, sometimes like when I sign a lot of people, I'll make a quick video and I'll just say like, hey girl, I was just thinking about you. It's the last chance for them to use the $20 coupon code. And I know that you were interested before. I'd love to mentor you. Do you have any questions? And I'll like record a video and then I'll just pop that video to 150, 200 people in messages and they can see your face. It's a follow-up. It's saying time is ticking. Like, what do you think? You're asking a question at the end. And I get a lot of response to that. So definitely give that a try if you haven't.
That's so good. Like a video of you?
Yeah.
Or that's so good. So good. Because they see you're a person and they're like, oh, okay.
If I have one. Oh, yeah, for sure. I have an old one. This is like let's see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'm turning up the volume. Let's see if it works. 1 second. Hey girl, I was just thinking about you and had to. Oh, wait. Let me turn up the volume. Sorry, this is so awkward.
You're fine.
Hey girl, I was just thinking about you and had to let you know that instead of $100 to get started, it's only $49.50 right now. This still isn't going to last very long. And I know that you were interested before, so I just wanted to check in with you and see if you had any questions for me because I would love to mentor you and help you get started. What do you think? So obviously that was half price. That was half price kits. Right. I just saved it on my phone so I could do that. I'll do that, every time we have like a big promo, and then I'll just save it. Like if you need a filter, you can do it in Snapchat. Just make it short and sweet. It's just like, I know you were interested before. I was just thinking about you. I think that you would be great at this. I would love to mentor you. What do you think? And it's just so easy.
That blows my mind and you're giving like all the information, but it's not like too much information and then they can't come back with who is this again?
Right.
Because, hello, hey,
It's
it's
more
me.
personal. It's different. They click on it because instead of a message, it's a video. They see that that's coming through. It'll say like Lauren sent you a video. It just looks different. And sometimes, guys, people don't respond. A lot of times people don't. But I get a lot more conversations going again. I mean, you can send that to somebody that you talked to last week or 6 months ago because it's like, hey, girl, I was just thinking about you and I know you were interested before. And I would really like you to take advantage of this. What do you think? I mean, I feel like it's just a very non-confrontational, easy way, and it's just different. So,
I love it. I'm obsessed. Okay, and then my actual final question this time. um, so back to when you said like when you started your 2.0 account, it took you a while. So I'm sure you felt like stuck or whatever.
yeah.
Like, how do you push through that? Like, because that's hard. Like, I get that. That's tough. How do you go?
Yeah, so I've been stuck. I mean, I felt stuck many times in my business. It went really easy and fast for me for a while. Then it didn't. Then there's been times where I've backtracked and I've lost rank. My checks have cut in half or more. I was like a top 100 earner in the company. I think I was like 68 one year, and the next year I was like 52, and I was like, awesome. And then the next year I was like 97. And then this year I got a message that I was top 40. So from that 97, like from going this way and then back that way, so much had to happen in here. And I lost ambassador rank, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go back to work. Like, what am I gonna do? And it's like, no. You have to like refigure something out. And a lot of it was here. A lot of it was consistency and passion and excitement again, trying something new. But really, like if you've lost a rank or you feel stuck because you're stuck at Ruby, let's say that, you have to just build a new Ruby. Stop looking at the people that got you to Ruby and think you need to get them back to 400. That's not what you need to do. You pretend that Ruby never happened and you get back to executive again. You sign 2 new people. You help get them get to 400. And then you move to Ruby with new people. That's just going to be extra volume that's going to help you along the way. If none of those people want to work, then you pretend that you started over and today is day 1. You need 2 people, right? And you need to go executive again. Strong executive, fantastic. Then let's look at Ruby. Don't try to re-rank by getting everybody to 400 and you're going to be on a hamster wheel, right? You're running and you keep filling people up, but they're not working. And it's like, no. I don't care. I'd rather lose rank and make less money and find the right people that want to work, that it's fun again. Then you're going to be making so much more money because instead of you keep placing people under non-workers, you're working with people that want to work and your checks are going to skyrocket. And that's exactly what happened to me. And it took me 2 years of falling all the way back and then getting all the way back. But it will happen because quitting was never an option for me. I had to just figure this out because I'm not going back to teaching. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not going to. And so I'm either like, I'm going to have to go back and find a job or I have to figure it out. Those are my choices. I have to figure it out. And if that means I have to get some more grit and some more consistency, I got to get a little bit more pissed off. I got to work a little bit harder, stay up a little bit later, make some more sacrifices. And then so be it. Because I am not going to keep letting myself fall. And it took me till my paychecks got to a point. There was a number I had in my head. And I was like, once we get underneath that number, I need to start thinking, am I going to go back to work or whatever? And when I hit that number, I looked at my husband and I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? And he was like, no, seriously, like, what are you doing? Because he's like, this has allowed him to quit his job. This is paying for our family. This is allowing us to live. I mean, he has a job. He quit his job, but he now does wedding photography. It's his passion. And sure, he can pick up more weddings, but we like that he doesn't have to. He can work when he wants to work. So he's like, you just need to figure this back out. And as soon as I cut loose the people that weren't working, cut loose the things that stressed me out, and focused on bringing in new people, having a new excitement and passion, things changed. I can't explain it. It's like when you're stuck and you're putting out that stuck energy, you're bringing crappy people in your business, right? You're approaching it negatively because you feel stuck. If you let go of that stuck vocabulary, and I think Mike Patillo has something on YouTube called Jump the Funk.
Mm-hmm.
about being in a funk, listen to it. Listen to me. I love listening to Rachel Hollis. When I get down in the dumps, I'm going to her women's conference, you guys. I'm so freaking excited. It's sold out in like 8 minutes and I got tickets and I'm like going to it and I'm so excited and I will fangirl all up on Rachel Hollis. But you have to find something that makes you excited and pumps you up, whoever that person is. And then you just got to soak it up until your mind believes it, until you start taking that action. And when you see things going in the right direction, don't be like, oh yeah, it's working. Let me stop. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing the right things. Stop wallowing in the feeling sorry for myself, blaming corporate. This is where I was. I was like, why are they doing this? And I suck. And I was wallowing in my own misery, which meant I wasn't signing people. The people I signed suck because of course I sucked.
Right.
They're going to suck if I suck. And as
Right.
soon as I stopped sucking, guess what? My team did too.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, isn't this crazy? It all goes hand in hand. Me being a better version of me made everything better. It's like, isn't that just like how life works out, you know?
Yep. God, that's just so good. Okay. I will let you go though, because I doubled your time.
To show up with me.
But this was so good, and I thank you so much, and I can't wait to hug you at conference. And
Yes. I'm so excited to meet you guys, and I can't wait for everything that you're going to learn there and take away from there, because conference always is such a great shift for your mind. I think I started off this Zoom by saying I got to that event because I needed it. That's why I went to Nebraska. I didn't have one teammate in my downline in Nebraska. Drove 7 hours. I flew there, drove home. It wasn't convenient. I've got 3 kids. I've got a 10-month-old. I missed things. My husband had to, do a lot with Boy Scouts and blah, blah, but I made sacrifices to be there because I needed it. So you guys need to know when you need an event because you're feeling stuck, because you're feeling this or that, get your butt to an event. It doesn't have to just be conference. If you have to drive somewhere 7 hours, you're not going to regret it because it fills you up. It changes your mindset and it gives you bigger dreams. So get there.
absolutely.
Mic drop.
Yes.
See, I just keep talking. You're like, I'm trying to end this, Lauren. Stop talking.
No, seriously, I could go all night. My husband's not here, so I can actually work and not get interrupted.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. I was like, at least everybody put in another hour, because when you get off Zooms, that's when I feel like the most like pumped. My brain's going. I can't go to sleep. I'm like excited. This is when you want to send your messages, when you're feeling like, oh yeah, Lauren said I've got a gift to give. I'm going to go give it to 10 people right now, right?
Exactly.
So go do it. So go do some really good work for the next hour before you go to bed. Even if it means that you're going to have to wake up early, you're going to be crabby tomorrow, do it. You won't regret it.
Awesome.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
It was so
great to meet you, and I'll see you